I'm super foggy, so I'm gonna miss a whole bunch of stuff today.
Oh, it's gonna be
You're
great.
never supposed to give that away, Pete, because if you had hit a Grand Slam home run, we just would have thought that you were amazing.
Yeah.
But see, this, yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah, but if he does it and we know that he's messed up, isn't that even more impressive?
Oh, you mean like the Michael Jordan flu game?
I don't know.
Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones, Indiana It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the podcast where we try to interpret the ever-shifting dance that is Crystal Skull 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Gerald Christopher Ichabod Crane Porter.
And today I'm excited to welcome not only one of my very favorite guests, but one of my favorite people in the world, Dr. Jamie Anderson, archaeologist extraordinaire. Welcome back for your 4th season, Jamie.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me.
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it wouldn't be the same without you.
No.
Yeah.
You lend us some class, which we are otherwise sorely lacking.
Oh, you guys have gotten way bigger guests than me at this point.
Aw.
You have like a curator of the Smithsonian or something.
Yeah, she's back too. So we're
Awesome. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. And today we're going to be talking about minute 46. And minute 46 begins with some interpretive dance, and it ends with a practitioner of poison darts diving into a hole.
Well, speaking to these guys, I will just launch into the question that has been on everybody's mind since this movie came out. Who are these guys?
Yes. Who are they?
I have an answer.
Okay, yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I have an answer. Yes. Okay. They are the Brotherhood of the Perusiform Sword.
It's good. I like that.
Was it? Was it good?
I thought it was good.
Thank you. No, I mean, I'm not even joking around. I feel like a lot of Crystal Skull, and even in these minutes, they kind of went back and they looked at the other Raiders movie, the other Indy movies, and they kind of took little tidbits from here and there, and they put them here. And these are actually people who are guarding a sacred site or a sacred relic. And this is right out of Last Crusade with Kazim or Kazim, as we learned. And that's who they are. They're
I'm not convinced that they're guarding anything.
Yeah, there's not that much. I mean,
because they kind of give up.
They give up really
easily.
easily.
They do.
Yeah. I feel like maybe they just live here and they're mad that someone's like poking around their house. I don't know.
I kind of have a theory about them, actually.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys have talked about before the episodes I've been on, but I don't know if you talked about how much this area was looted. And I thought these guys might be looters who were trying to protect their graveyard that they were looting things out of.
Oh, interesting. Because it is pretty looted, right? It's kind of
it's clearly been totally torn apart.
Yeah.
So
well, if they are looters, are they looters like kind of like the De Beers family, that they create they have some of the world's biggest diamond reserves, and they just sort of parse out the diamonds one at a time in the world, so as to control the market. Is that what if
definitely be the case?
Because I'm just wondering, like, if this is your looting site, like you've tagged it, this is your corner, so to speak. Then do they set out? I mean, you can't just loot everything and then throw it all out there, in one big giant looting grab,
right?
Because then it just goes down. Yeah, it just goes to the market or to Marrakesh all at once, and you've devalued your greatest resource. So I'm wondering if that's what you're saying. They kind of live there, and they have for maybe 30 years, and every once in a while they throw a chalice up on the black or gray market.
Or maybe
Yeah.
they're planning on doling out crystal skulls, but there's only one of them, so they're just waiting. They're just going to sit on it for like 50 years and then get on with the doling later on.
I mean, they might also be like local people who are like, another group of white archaeologists are here to take our heritage when they see
There
Yeah.
you
you show
go.
up.
I
so.
like that. Yeah.
But then why like like they're wearing skull? Can we also, okay, before we get, I watch this minute a lot because I work here and I'm a professional, but I could not keep track of how many of these guys there are.
I think there are 3.
I think there are 3 too, but
Because the
sometimes the
script
minutes are
names
going to
them.
act like there's 2 of them.
Right.
That's weird.
You sure it's not all
there's
just one guy?
Yeah.
There's at least 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the editing here is really tricky. We saw at the end of the last minute, there was a guy under the bridge,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
and then the very next shot, there's a guy on that tree
Mhm.
branch.
Tree, right.
And then in the very next shot after that, you see a guy jump into the well who Mutt sees out of the corner of his eye.
I
But
love
any-
that jump, by the way. It's very
That jump is kind of
got a
creepy and
beautiful
weird.
flourish.
Yeah.
But there's a reason this
Yeah.
is also disjointed, and that'll come up next minute. There's some stuff that
Oh.
got taken out.
I am not surprised.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that. This whole scene
Yeah.
feels like that. Like
Yeah.
like my big question is, what? What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
get what's happening here.
I feel like this is just a nuts and bolts. We need an action sequence now.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
somebody was like, yeah, like I
Definitely.
said, that somebody said like, oh, well, we need to have somebody guarding that. That's why they're the Brotherhood of the Peruciform Sword, and it's but they don't do anything with them. That's
Yeah.
just
No.
it. They don't like Cosm and in Last Crusade. That's its entire its own sort of side plot or
Well,
whatever.
they were better
where
in The
it comes-
Mummy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
More attractive.
yeah.
Yes.
We were all thinking it. Thank you for saying.
I mean, that guy is really good looking.
But speaking of really good looking, why does Indy immediately dismiss Mutt when Mutt says, I think I just saw something," and Indy goes, "You're jumping at shadows."
Yeah.
And why he doesn't even know what Mutt's talking. Like Mutt may have just seen a giant pile of gold. Like I don't understand why he's immediately dismissing anything Mutt's saying.
Or he might have seen a Russian. Like Indiana Jones already
Yeah.
said back in Yale, like, oh, the Russians are probably on our tail because they let Oxley get this letter to me because they're going to follow us. So he should at least be looking for Russians.
And
Yeah.
if you see a shadow, that implies that something is indeed there.
Besides that buzzard that was there in the last minute or whatever.
Yeah.
It was.
But- well, and I'm glad you brought that up because the bigger question is why doesn't Indy have any fear here? He's a veteran grave robber, and if you think about Indy, in Raiders, and he's outside the Chachapoyan temple, and Satipo says there's nothing to fear here, and Indy replies, "That's what I'm afraid of."
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, so here we are. They're approaching a new archaeological site. And Indy is just like waltzing in. At like
What if
it's
what if
very
almost
informal.
almost all of his adventures or digs went totally smoothly and there were no surprises and nothing, and only the ones we've seen in movies are the ones that are bizarre or surprising or dangerous or anything. So he's mostly used to just like
Yeah.
very straight and narrow things
Or
by the numbers.
he's in a graveyard, and he's been in a grave, like this is what he's been
Yeah.
doing for 20 years. So he's just like Johnny Punch Clock. He's like, okay, I'm in a graveyard.
Right.
Yeah, he's
So
just
do you
trying to
have
be
great father?
macho. Like, this is classic. he's got like
Yeah.
a little student with him, and he's like, "Oh, are you scared of the graveyard?" It's classic.
Yeah. Relax.
You think
it's a
you think
graveyard.
that there was like a deleted scene in Raiders where Indy's like, they're good pieces, Marcus, and they came to me really easily.
Yeah.
Not like that idol. That was a problem for some reason. I don't
Yeah.
know what went
Yeah,
on
that was
there,
weird.
But these pieces are real easy.
I have been the younger student being hazed by older male archaeologists in a graveyard before, so
No,
Oh, wow.
familiar with this
Oh, wow.
behavior.
that sounds like a picnic.
Yeah.
Sounds enjoyable.
Yep, it was super fun.
What do you do in that situation? What do you do if things become awkward on a dig
Oh man,
in the field?
there's a lot of ways you can go with that. Hopefully, you'll have allies with you. But definitely had some awkward moments with older male archaeologists.
Oh boy.
It's a problem.
Do you ever just kind of start just in the middle of Oleande, Oleande, just like that? That's code for
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Because you probably can't get away from any creeps or anything when you're out there. You're like kind of
Depends on where you are.
Right?
My worst
Okay.
experience was at a field site in Northern Ireland that was right on the edge of a town, so I could just go into the town and hang out at the pub. But mainly the two older guys were like trying to gross me out with like their camping lifestyle, and I was like, whatever. I'm pretty unflappable, so.
Yeah.
I'd be really flappable. That would not work for me.
Yeah, not to get real here, but this is a serious problem in archaeology that the Society of American Archaeology is struggling with right now. So anyway, I think that Indy is just trying to be a macho dude.
Yeah.
And he ignores a real problem because of it.
To his folly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of folly, do you think this film would suffer at all if they cut out this way down, this way up?
I think this way down
steps
is
on a
fine.
ladder to go down the ladder, and he goes this way down, and he falls down and goes boom, and then Indy says this way up, and he gives him his hand.
I think it's
and he
better
helps
if they
him up.
take out the this way up. I think the this way down is fine. I think the this way up.
I do
pushes it over the edge.
think this way up makes this way down worse. I think you're right.
But it's like foreshadowing. It's a dad joke from Indy.
Yeah,
that's true.
Oh,
yeah.
Spoiler. Sorry.
Showing his cards.
Yeah. I actually thought once again that they're just breaking the fourth wall and they're speaking directly to us. This way down.
But is there a way up?
Yeah, where's
no,
the way up?
no. I think that was I
looking
think,
at Indiana Jones, that's kind of a bonus, but yeah, I don't know.
I think several people have now mentioned that this scene here, this part of the movie, is where things really begin to go south.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were saying that a couple minutes ago. We've heard that on the Crusade. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, this sequence here, like we're saying, just makes no sense, and it's pretty aggravating. I'll just say that right now, right from the beginning. I'm aggravated.
Is this a trick ladder? Like, is this like a dribble glass ladder, or is this?
I think it's because the wood is old. It's meant to be the wood is rotted, I thought.
Is that why these guys dance everywhere and leap everywhere?
Well, yeah. That's just like,
they're afraid to touch
they're
anything.
Also breakdancing champions. They have multifaceted characters, Pete.
Yeah.
It gets lonely out there in the graveyard
desert.
They gotta do something. So
stop trying to pigeonhole them.
I've got something here that's really important though. When Mutt falls down the into the grave, he falls down the ladder, and he makes this groaning sound that if any of you have ever been on Facebook and seen Jerry Porter's Santa Claus video from like 1992, Mutt makes the exact same sound as Santa Claus.
Oh, what have we here, Sally? Would you like a doll? And a little toy train for Joel?
Oh, Petey does.
Exact.
Yeah, it is.
I hadn't thought of that. That's actually brilliant.
I'm glad we have an archaeologist on because I don't understand this place. Like, is this like there's something about it that's is it like an undiscovered ancient like pueblo,
or is it actually a graveyard?
Like is it a graveyard? Is it like a dwelling I mean, the only thing I've seen in real life like this, and I know we're continents away, but sort of
Mhm.
like Mesa Verde or something like that, where that they
Mhm.
have some ladders and it's sort of dug into the earth and there's
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I actually was looking up a little bit about this, and apparently it is based on a Nazca cemetery called Chauchia, which is located in real life about 50 miles away, about 50 miles southeast of the Nazca lines. But confusingly, that cemetery is in the middle of a desert, and it's like in the middle of a flat plain, which is what this actual landscape would look like. And then it's not like these series of steps. The tombs are like you look down into them, and yeah. But apparently, so according to the Wikipedia page for this cemetery, it says, though not called by name in the film, the cemetery is explicitly identified in the screenplay.
Oh,
Huh.
Pete.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So someone must have had a cold this week.
Yeah, someone didn't read this homework.
but the
Oh,
real
come
cemetery looks nothing like this. So,
Right, which we've discussed this the past few minutes, and
mhm.
I have no idea why this is right out of Sleepy Hollow.
Right. Why
Yeah.
it's
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
to its
Like,
credit, I think it's a
Nancy-
pretty creepy setting. It's just total fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's way over the top.
Yeah.
Is there a barrow?
There's not a barrow that I know of. I mean, okay, full disclosure, I'm certainly not a Peruvian expert of any kind. That's definitely not my expertise. I've seen a lot of barrows in Great Britain, but and in Ireland too, but I don't know of any barrows that are near where this cemetery is.
Well, because Indy in the minute before this talks about, it's maybe we can find a chamber off of one of these barrows.
I heard
and I'm
that.
not sure what he's talking about.
Yeah, I was also confused.
So we're not looking at barrows right now? I don't know what a barrow looks like.
A barrow. Have you ever seen like a picture of Stonehenge? And you can see in the background these really low hills.
Yeah.
That they're man-made and they're graves, and those are barrows. And you like would walk inside of them, and they'd have stone walls.
Oh, okay.
You can visit some barrows in various places in the UK, and also I think in France and other parts of Europe they have them.
I think a Doctor Who episode had some.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Is the Hopewell mounds in Ohio, are those considered barrows?
They're kind of a similar idea, but they're definitely on a much larger scale.
Yeah, the like the Great Serpent Mound, like in kind of like in southern Ohio-ish.
Yeah, they're more like kind of like pyramids in my mind, just based on how large they are. But it's it's the same idea of building a mound and burying someone important in it.
So Indy sees this as a graveyard. Like Indy, if he's calling these barrows, is thinking that this is a graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's thinking that it's that they're gonna find Oriana's grave, like his resting place. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm totally confused by that though.
How so?
Because didn't he get lost in the Amazon?
He got lost in the mouth of the Amazon, like in Brazil.
Right.
Yeah.
So like he would have had to have gone up the entire Amazon and then crossed the Andes Mountains and gotten to the desert on the south coast of Peru.
Wearing a full suit of armor.
Yeah, wearing his conquistador outfit.
Yeah. With 6 of his buddies.
Yeah. So I don't know. I really was confused about why this is where his body is.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're learning that the writers and the whole crew had no idea what South America looks like or where things are or anything.
Yeah. I told Pete this, but I have a theory about why this graveyard looks the way it does. So in Mexico City at the Museum of Anthropology, which is incredible, if you get a chance to go there, absolutely take it. Spend your entire day there, because I did, and did not see all of it. It is enormous. They have a model of a burial that's like pre-Teotihuacan, and it looks just like this. Like it's the same like levels with the chambers, and like I think that someone designing the sets visited that museum. They were like, "Hey, this is South of America. Like, why not?"
Yeah.
So,
Well, in 3 minutes, we're literally going to see the Aztec calendar stone. So,
right.
which is also in the anthropology museum.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, wow.
And I don't want to spoil the next minute, but there are these like kind of glyph things that you see on the walls of the cemetery, which are not South American.
Right.
They are Mexican.
Don't you also see like the sign for the gift shop for that museum too coming up?
Do you know anything about Rumi Maki?
I don't know what that is.
There is supposedly a form of Incan martial arts.
Oh.
And I wasn't able to track down very much about it. And I don't know what's historical and what's not. I mean, supposedly they did have martial arts dating back to, well before the Common Era, but I don't know if they looked anything like what these guys are doing.
Right.
I just have 2 words. Peruse Lee.
Oh.
Your Peru puns are on fire today.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. I don't have a cold this week. Okay.
I'm begrudgingly appreciating that joke. That was pretty
I've got one for you, Jared. This one dude is per you. As in he's Ryu from Street Fighter.
Wow.
He's just doing those those low kicks, and they're completely ineffective, those like those low kicks in Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's great, actually. He does.
Yeah, this guy falls out of the sky, and he starts fighting. Well, he kicks Indy out of the way.
But why does he yell, first of all, when he's flying out of the... Because he would have had complete surprise if he didn't yell all the way down.
Yeah.
Because it sounds cool. And he's got a cool mask on.
Yeah.
But you see them moving out of the way as he's yelling.
Yeah. It is weird. But I mean, none of this fight makes sense because he beats up Mutt and gets him down on the ground, and the second Mutt is down, he takes off. The guy like leaps into a hole and disappears.
Yeah.
And like, well, why? What's their game plan? What are they trying to achieve here?
I have no idea.
Are they trying to kill Indy and Mutt or just knock them down and then run away?
Well, don't they have like poison darts? Like, I have no idea what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
The whole thing plays out like some giant piece of choreographed performance interpretive dance.
Yeah. Momenchan.
Yeah, like the jumping down the holes. It's
the jumping in the hole. Like, because the guy comes out, he performs these very graceful, beautiful moves where he trips Mutt, and then he's like, now's my cue, and he leaps, into a little cubby hole.
Yeah.
It's the ballet.
It's like he tags out.
Yeah.
His buddy joins from behind Mutt then. I was even wondering though, like, does that guy like jump into a hole and then like run around a tunnel and then run around behind Mutt? Is it like the same dude?
Well, I think this is the beginning of our deleted scene.
Oh, okay.
Mutt
going.
actually pulls out his switchblade.
Oh, that would have been
throws
great.
it. Yeah, he throws it at this guy, and it gets him in the shoulder.
And that's why he takes off?
I'll leave the rest of it until next scene.
Oh, okay.
Until next minute. Yeah, because it goes on for a little while.
I mean, we're gonna take this apart a little bit and try to make sense of it, but I think Jerry nailed it already. Like please drop in action scene 11B.
Yeah.
At 46 minutes. And because it's just this goes nowhere real fast.
And it's like, November 28th in Cleveland. That's what the set looks like.
No, it is.
It's and even while I'm watching the fight scene now, and there's like, deciduous forest leaves blowing about. And,
it makes you want to see like Indiana Jones versus the Headless Horseman or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, like why is there so much foliage? They're in a desert. God.
And why they leave their pumpkins out in November?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And this desert is world famous for having no wind and no rain. Like this is all this is.
Well, so like the bodies are all displayed wrong too for it to be the cemetery that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I've got an archaeology question for you.
Go ahead.
So if I put on if I put a 2,000-year-old skull mask in front of my face, and Jerry hauls off and hits me with a shovel.
That's
Will
happened.
it hurt?
Yes.
Yeah, is that going to hurt? Because this guy doesn't seem like it hurts him at all.
Well,
Like it just breaks that's like an invincible mask, and it breaks
Yeah.
the mask, but then his face is fine.
He has the
I
spirit of the
assume
warrior.
that the masks are modern.
Oh, okay.
I thought they just bought them like at Peruvian
Oh.
Walmart Halloween aisle.
You know what's weird is I'm looking at it, and at first I thought to myself, well, so do these guys just pluck these off the wall?
Mm.
Are those just skulls? That
Yeah,
they
are those
took off
just
the-
Yeah,
skulls?
that's what I
I mean, that's
thought.
what
Yeah.
I thought, but
They don't look like. Sorry, go on.
Well, no, you would know whether or not they look like the real thing. And I'm looking, they do have a modern mask-like quality, and
Yeah.
yeah, for
Hmm.
sure. Like you can see where the skull, either that or someone did a wonderful job, shaving a skull in half. And
Right. They cut the
Yeah.
back off.
Yeah,
And they like kind of flattened it out so it looked a little wider. and-
right.
Yeah.
These guys obviously have a lot of time on their hands.
It's true.
They've been waiting for this. They finally got some action. They've just been sitting
And
there
they're
gonna run
practicing
away
their
as soon as it-
breakdancing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as soon as it shows up, they're gonna
Practicing jumping down tunnels and stuff.
Parkour.
I'll say this is for you here, Pete. There is no question in my mind that Indy is trying to kill Mutt right here. I mean, he swings that shovel exactly at Mutt's face, and Mutt.
Does.
Yeah, if you look at it, Mutt like ducks out of the way, and it happens to hit the Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true.
That's great.
Yeah. You were talking about that I believe last week about how Indy is kind of keeping all the clues to himself. He's just trying to-
Now
you know.
he's here. He's like, time to get rid of this guy.
I've had it. This way down, this way up. Tired of it.
We get
was the
some,
last straw.
We get some. What is not the last straw is this amazing sound we get when this blow dart hits Mutt's shovel.
Mm.
It goes like that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
But then these guys make sounds. They sound either like Ewoks or Yoda when they jump around.
Oh,
And I can't
wow,
figure
weird.
out.
Yeah.
Like it's weird.
It is. It is weird. That one guy, when he gets the shovel to the face and his skull mask is ruined,
Uh-huh.
that might be the angriest I have ever seen anyone in Indiana Jones franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
He's seething.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy is really mad.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Is he mad or is he just yelling a lot? I don't know. It's very like it's you know what it is. It's like very kind of cheapy martial arts movie, like guy just
Yeah.
yelling as like part of the move or something. Like
Mm.
I don't know. It's he doesn't strike me as actually angry. He looks like a guy on the set of a movie yelling really loud. 'Cause that's what this
I don't know.
bit
He
calls
seemed
for.
mad to me. I'm going with Jerry on this one.
All right.
I know what you're saying though. It is very. I don't know. It looks like a sort of interpretive dance.
Yeah. The whole thing is it's
Yeah.
just weird.
Yeah. Oh, it is. And how
How
does,
did-
how
how
does
does
Indy
Indy-
know that the? Oh, I think we're gonna ask the same thing.
I
How
think
does-
so.
How
Indy knows-
does
say 'em
Indy
at the same
know that the
The
poison
darts,
is darts?
are poison.
I thought because he'd encountered them before.
But it's not something common to the Andes, I would think.
Well, I mean, is it common to the Andes in like Indiana Jones canon? I don't know.
No, maybe.
Is that literally like a callback to the poison's fresh 3 days?
I
Oh,
think,
yeah,
I think
And that was
you're-
in Peru too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
in Peru.
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
what is that like? I just put that together. Like, is that he's saying, why those darts are poisonous?
I do think
Or
that
poison,
the audience is supposed to be like, oh yeah, like in Peru, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
the last time we saw darts they were
On the other
poisonous,
side
and
of
you
the
would know.
Andes.
Yeah.
Right.
Those cultures are totally similar. They definitely weren't separated by a large barrier or anything.
Well, why have darts if you're not going to poison them?
That's a great
stands
point.
for reason.
Yeah.
Although if these guys are, what did you call them? The Knights of the Perusiform Cross?
Yeah. To the cruciform sword.
If these guys, I mean, maybe they actually came from Brazil with Oriana. Like maybe they've just been sitting here since Oriana got here.
That raises some questions.
That's what the guys did in The Mummy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the brothers of the cruciform sword, right? Aren't they like sort of passed down through generations?
Yeah.
Only 3 there are.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 guys.
Maybe they're like the brothers.
Got chosen to be one of them.
Yeah, the brothers from Last Crusade.
No, maybe.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure on those guys to both protect the Grail and get married and produce a son.
Yeah. Pass on the really boring job.
Exactly.
I gotta say though,
Dancing
every one of
and
these
rape
like
robbing.
guardian, like grave guardian guys has his own special flair. Like these guys or the cruciform sword guys or the guys from The Mummy, like they've all got kind of a, they got a little something.
Yeah. I'm a real sucker for like this type of martial arts stuff. I don't know, I really like it. Like for some reason I kind of like watching this scene. It makes it makes no sense.
I'm with you.
It's silly.
Yeah.
It's over the top. It's completely shoehorned in. It's kind of like paint by numbers. It happens in upstate New York, but I do, for whatever reason, I just kind of have an awe of martial arts stuff. And that's
me too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't. It's not working for me in this.
No,
scene.
I
I'm
understand.
too
that.
distracted by how confusing it is and how little sense it makes.
Yeah,
it's very confusing.
I can't just enjoy it.
Yeah, it makes little sense, and it's very.
And it's,
confusing.
it's not really that impressive. I don't think in terms, if you it's no
No.
like Jackie Chan or Crouching Tiger or anything. It's
weird though because I think they wrote this script with these 3 particular actors in mind, or martial artists, because the script calls them by name. Like Nito and Ernie and I don't remember the other guy's name, which are like the names of the actual like guy, like the actor guys.
Oh,
yeah.
Huh.
So
that's a shame.
Yeah.
It's too bad they didn't get a chance to shine more.
John was the other
Well,
guy.
the one guy, like he really kind of, he really gets the best of Mutt. He like smacks him and trips in like a roundhouse, and then he trips him with the leg sweep, and then he's kind of like just cat and mousing him, like he's just batting him about, and then he takes off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is weird.
Maybe they had a deal between the 3. Let's say they're brothers. Like no one of us gets to finish him off. Like I'll get him down, and then you, Billy, you show up from behind, and you get your piece, and then the other guy, he'll get to we all get to have some fun. Because we've been sitting here for 30 years or whatever.
Yeah. It's kind of how I picture the Porter household.
Yeah, especially
they all get to touch the pizza.
Especially after sitting here for 30 years.
Speaking of touching the pizza,
I do have one last question here. If
I was taking a drink of water.
So if Indy tells you, stay there, would you actually stay there?
not if you want to live.
Yeah, really. It doesn't seem like
Because whenever he
Yeah.
says that, people are in great peril.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you say to bait in the Indiana
Yeah.
Jones world.
That's why I think that
Yeah.
just goes into he's trying to kill Mutt.
Yeah. I
Stay
think
here.
you're right.
I'm leaving. Yeah.
Well, speaking of all of us leaving, this just in from
It's the sound of us running down the hill.
yeah. Professor Christy Porter, this way down. I'm pretty sure that's an animated rotisserie chicken in the tree.
Wow.
Actually, if you go back to the beginning of this minute, it does. Wow. Looks exactly like a rotisserie chicken.
Yep, it sure does.
Oh, you mean the guy climbing
Yeah,
in?
yeah, yeah.
Tree?
The guy
Yep.
in the tree looks like a rotisserie chicken.
Yep.
Maybe from Eraserhead or something. Sure.
Well, all right. I'm kind of speechless after the rotisserie chicken.
Yes.
He does. Oh my God, he does look like a rotisserie
Yes.
chicken. Like his legs.
He does. It makes no sense until you watch it.
No, he totally does though. Oh boy, Jamie, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, is there anything you'd like to tell people about you're working on, or you have some cool projects? I know.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I've been producing a podcast called Archeotech. So I help find guests for it by reading a lot of research papers and then contacting their authors. And it's a bi-weekly podcast that's about science and technology, or about archaeology and technology.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
So Archeotech is what it's called, and it's on the Archaeology Podcast Network.
Cool.
Yeah.
Why aren't we on
Yeah.
the Archaeology Podcast Network?
I don't know.
Because we're
You
not.
got to get on
smart.
there.
I guess not.
They have swag and
We're
stuff.
too dumb.
Oh man. Why aren't we on the Dingling Network?
No, that's not why.
But where we are, though, is IndianaJonesMinute.com and the Patreon network, where you can sign up for a low monthly fee and hear us arguing a lot on our weekend show. Or what else do we do? We send people postcards.
Yeah.
You get the show earlier than everybody else. All kinds of special things.
Brag. Be a snob.
Yeah. If you like being a snob, or if you like getting mail, or if you like hearing us fight, check out IndianaJonesMinute.com/Patreon or Patreon.com/IndianaJonesMinute, and you can find all of those things. And if you come back here Wednesday, you can find maybe at least some of those things as we talk about minute 47 of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Peru Kung Fu.
This way up.
In lieu of Purdue, I do.